Oh, shit. Just got real.
If you got a thirst for knowledge and a love for craft beer, then tune into our podcast and let us spin your ear. From UFOs to rock and roll, you'll be Oro you'll Ayo. Say, are you shitting me?
Hello, folks. Welcome to another Are You Shitting Me? AYSM. I am Chuck here with my co-host Brett. Brett, how are you doing today?
Freaking awesome. How about you?
I'm doing pretty well. Did you have a good 4th?
You know what? I did. Pretty low key.
Right, so did I.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be talking about something a little different, as we always are. It's going to be weird sports. And I believe both you and I have quite a little list to go through.
Yeah, we do.
Before we do that, though, as always, we're going to get started with one of these great beers. Today, it's going to be Off Color Brewing beer for ball games in relation to our weird sports episode that we're going to bring to you today.
Look at those cute little mice.
Oh, that's adorable. Let's give it a crack.
Have you had this before, Chuck?
I have not had this one. I've had another one from Off Color Brewing, beer for golf, which was a little different. We saw it at the restaurant that I work at.
Yeah. I've had that one.
We'll see what this one is like.
Okay. We only got a lot of head right now. Why?
Never complain.
Why do you laugh every time I say that?
No reason.
I say it often. It smells like a fraternity beer.
It does.
So what is this, Chuck? Do you know? American style cream ale.
Actually, not too bad.
I got 4.2% ABV.
According to Untapped. This says caramel malt, Cascade hops, nugget. What's Willamette hops?
That's another.
I've never heard of that.
So on Untapped, it says out of 5,269 ratings, it's got a 3.76% rating. Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know. This is not my jam.
You say that about it. All the different ones.
Give me a good
Saturday
stout any day, and I'll probably like it.
A stout.
Oh, yeah.
Or even some of the IPAs you're more into. But
I could drink a few of the hazy.
This is not what I think when it comes to a cream ale. I don't think it's creamy enough, what I would think. I'm not saying that I don't like it. I think it's good. But I will just state that.
Did you happen to notice what it says at the right above the barcode? It's got a little picture.
You know what kind of beer this is, Brett?
What kind of beer is it, Chuck?
It's a session beer.
It's a session beer. It's a session beer. It's a session beer.
Awesome.
Oh,
Did you like that jingle I came up with?
yeah, it's a great jingle. I like how you put everything over my face every time that you put any kind of picture up. It's always very nice.
Full disclosure, I've been doing it for a while.
I just realized it.
It's a session
Yeah.
beer.
So the America Baby was our last episode. And if you haven't seen it yet, everyone should go back. Chuck and I will wait here for you to go and listen to it. Welcome back, everybody. So, yeah, I put Hulk Hogan, a little cartoon over your head. And yeah, I've been doing it for a while. Just
Thank
to see
you.
if you've been paying attention. Now you might actually go back and watch our episodes.
I'm going to have to go and watch all the ones now then, rather than just listen to them.
Or at least pay one of the boys. Hey, go back and see what Brett did to me. And right here, I'm going to do something else to you. So, yeah, you'll have to go tune in to find out what it is, Chuck.
All right.
All right, I think you came up with this topic, didn't you?
I don't know. I think actually it was you, but whoever did it, it's pretty interesting. I did some minimal reading, but mostly a lot of YouTube video watching because a lot of better people than me put some time into putting this together and showing actually these weird sports.
Sure.
I just want to start off with one though there used to be. Man, I can't remember on what channel it was. It was something sports. It was like weird sports or different sports. or The Religion of Sports. That's what it was. Good series. And on that series, this was a few years ago, they had one episode where they did the sport. It was called Calicios Storico, and I'm probably butchering the name, and I'm probably going to butcher all the names of everything on here, and I do apologize, but people that actually speak the languages of where they come from. But this one comes from Florence, Italy, and it dates back to the gladiators. This was like part of their training. The modernized version of the sport has been played in Florence since 1530, when the city was under siege by the army of Emperor Charles V.
What a great time to do a sport, huh? When you're being attacked.
Yeah. It's actually like a combination of rugby, wrestling, boxing. I really just say it's like rugby and with MMA. And you have
I
to
thought
go
that was
through
rugby.
Yeah, no, because there's actually positions in this game where two guys stand up and they punch each other, and and that's part of their position in the game. Why this guy runs with the ball? You have different positions. You have the blockers, and you'll see these. I don't know, maybe these 3 or 4 guys on each side, just literally throwing blows at each other until they tackle each other, and one guy submits, so that guy's supposed to like lay on the ground or whatever. It is the most violent game that you'll see. It's crazy, but super exciting to watch. And there's nothing like that we get away. You could do that in America. I guess you could, but it would have to be regulated. And this isn't like Calcio Storico.
One more time.
Calcio Storico.
I think nailed it.
If there's any Italian-speaking people, they're telling me that I got it all wrong, but it's such an interesting sport.
There are some really, I don't know, interesting sports. And some of them, I don't know if they count as sports or if they're just activities that people do.
Mm.
But one of the sports that came up often when I was trying to do some research, and I'm sure you've seen the videos, cheese rolling.
Yeah, I got that one here. The Cooper's Hill Cheese Rolling and Wake.
Oh.
Annual event held in a Springbank holiday at Cooper's Hill, Brockworth, near Gloucester, England. Now, Brett, you were talking about, as we were talking about this subject, you recommended that maybe there's some of these sports that would be fun, either watching while you're drinking or playing while you're drinking. And I think that this sport here would be both, because I think you definitely have to be at least somewhat drunk to play this game. This game is insane. It's a 200-yard long hill chasing a wheel of cheese, and the hill is brutal, as you can attest by watching. I mean, you can't. I don't even know how. They don't really run down it. They run and then they roll.
Yeah.
And then they get up and they try to run a little more, and then they end up just rolling. I don't know how many injuries accumulate during that 200-yard chase of this cheese roll. It's crazy.
And what do you win? Cheese?
They said you win a cheese and bragging rights. I don't know. They said now, The Guardian in 2013 called it the world famous event, with winners coming from Australia, Belgium, Canada, Egypt, Germany, Japan, New Zealand, and United States. So I wonder if they don't have some kind of cash prize or something now. They got all these people in it. They can promote it to however they wanted it.
Yeah.
It's got to be pretty crazy.
Pretty long hill. And
yeah.
And that cheese, obviously they just take that for anyone who hasn't seen it, you should go watch it. All these sports, you should go look it up. But yeah, it's a wheel of cheese, and they put it on its side and roll it down, and first person to get to the cheese wins. And yeah, I mean, I saw a really good effort the other day. I was watching, and the guy ran about a third of the way down the hill, and then it's just one of those, like, one misstep and he's tumbling, falling.
Well, that's what I was gonna say is, if you watch the video of it, you'll see so many people. It looks like they come so close, and at the last second they just fall on their face, and they literally fall on their face. I just can't imagine the injuries that come from this game. It's insane.
Dude, my back hurts with like just a 1-hour drive.
I know.
You can imagine falling down a hill at high speed. Nice.
Pretty crazy.
I don't know if in your research you came, and again, I'm probably butchering this just like you would, from Afghanistan. I got a sport, Buzkashi. Did you see this one?
I haven't seen that one.
So essentially, it's think of polo with a little more chaos, and it's so teams on horseback are fighting over a goat carcass. And they're trying to,
I am familiar
seen
with this game.
really?
Yeah, you said Afghanistan?
Yeah, that's what my notes say.
Okay, I think I've actually seen that. They do the same thing in Mongolia.
Oh,
I want to
Were
say whoever has the goat on the horse, they go after him.
I think they put a goat carcass that they put on the ground, and then you have to scoop it up. And I don't know if it's so much that they're going after the guy. Like, for example, it's not a guy with this thing and everyone tries to get him, but he picked it up and he's trying to get it in the goal. And so everybody's trying to stop him, right?
Yeah,
Is that it?
Yeah, and steal the goat from him in the meantime.
Of course.
Yeah.
Always have to steal the goat.
Yeah.
You know what? If we had more goat stealing in some of our games, it would be more interesting.
Uh,
I got another one here for you, Chuck, from England. You probably have this one. It's shin kicking.
No. It's pretty much soccer when you don't wear your shin guard.
The name is not very creative, but yeah, it's contestants are kicking each other in the shins until one falls over.
Seriously.
I don't know. That just sounds brilliant.
I think the guys that do that at Thai kickboxing would dominate that
Oh, yeah,
competition.
absolutely.
It's no problem. I got one from India. It's called Kabaddi. It's a contact team sport originated in India. It involves 2 teams of 7 players who take turns sending a raider into the opposing team's half to tag defenders and return to their own side, all while holding their breath and chanting Kabaddi, Kabaddi. So it's like placed like on looks like a volleyball court without a net. One team on one side, the other team on the other. One guy from one side will go over and try to tag as many of the other players as he can until he gets either tackled or pushed out of bounds by that team. So that guy could run across the line real quick, try to tag someone, run back over to the other side. It's pretty bizarre.
That sounds like a mix between Tag and Red Rover.
Maybe
Red
it
Rover?
is. Maybe
Yeah.
who knows where all these things would originate from. That one I thought was pretty
Did
fun.
you come across the, maybe it's not weird enough anymore, but the wife carrying contest?
I got that one on my list right here, Brett.
Damn.
And a foot race while carrying your wife on your back.
So,
Now, do you know where this stems from?
no, I didn't see where that originated.
Okay, so it says that
Besides
it's
Finland, is that where you?
yeah, Finnish gangster in the 1800s named Rosvo Ronkinen.
Yeah, that's what I thought it would be.
I'm sure. Good old Rosvo. He led men on raids of local villages. They would steal goods and women, throwing the ladies over their shoulders as they ran off. That's how it started. Now it becomes a sport. And I was watching a little video on that. There's 3 ways you can carry them. Obviously, you can do like traditional piggyback. You can do the fireman's carry, or you can do the upside down. And
Yeah, the women lock their ankles around the guys. I've seen it a couple ways, either around the neck or they do it like under the arms sometimes.
they put their arms around his waist while they're carried upside down. That way seems to be the most popular way to carry people.
I think it's the most efficient for running for the man.
Yeah, but some of them I was watching, they put like a pool of water on the course, so you jump, so you could very much be drowning them as you're like running through the water.
Sorry, I drowned you, honey. Yeah, did you see though? The winner gets the wife's weight in beer.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, you want someone light, but I don't know if I win.
Yeah, right. Like,
Maybe I want to have your.
look at that!
Heavier
I just got
lady.
300 pounds in beer. Yeah, but seriously, it seems like the women get the worst end of that. Like you said, they go through the mud or the water or whatever, and
They got to hold on.
yeah,
They gotta hold
If
on.
their head is waist level, they're going under.
I didn't look further enough in the rules. If they fall off, can you pick them up and continue, or are you done?
I that I don't know. If somebody out there knows the answer to that, please put a comment here and let us know what the rules are. I'll be honest, Chuck, I didn't look up many of the rules of a lot of these sports.
You just kind of just were looking at them as you went through.
Yeah. I don't know why the next sport that I have is it's gained a little following, not notoriety. So have you seen the hobby horsing? Originated from Finland.
Okay, so I have.
You probably have and just don't know what it is. Remember, even before our time, you had the little horse head on a stick, and little kids could ride it around. And so they have competitions where people are riding these horses, if you will, and they act like it's a horse jumping competition. So you have to jump over hurdles on these little hobby horse. Dude, Google it. It's hysterical. But I will give, especially some of these young women, give them some kudos, because when they're jumping over like a 4-foot hurdle and clearing it, even with the stick between their legs. So
That is
it's
pretty insane.
it's awesome.
Did you come up with Quidditch from Harry
Yeah.
Potter?
You know what? I saw that and I
Or like too
struggle to
stupid?
call it a sport. Yes, it looks really stupid to me. I also don't
okay.
like Harry Potter stuff.
Okay,
I'm with you.
I'm with you on that, but they have people that look like they play it pretty seriously.
Yeah.
It's now known as quad ball, where they go around.
Why do they shorten everything?
I don't know. It's just it's very similar to where same thing with you. They put a broomstick between their legs and they run and they got a. I don't know what they use for the ball. There was different versions of it, but these people seem pretty serious about it, and I would
Yeah.
think that's got to be a drinking game.
It should be. Yeah, I heard it's a combination between rugby and dodgeball and running with a broom between your legs. So
Yeah, it seemed pretty crazy.
sign me up. Now here's one that everybody knows how to play, and they actually have championships. It's competitive rock, paper, scissors.
Get out of here.
So it's true. Yeah. Players actually try to come up with different strategies and bluffing techniques, if you will. I don't know. That just sounds like it shouldn't be a sport. It's like Rochambeau. Like,
I
about
think
I
they have
just-
that too.
let me just kick you in the nuts and see if I win. I go first.
How about toe wrestling?
Yeah. That's crazy. I saw it.
Lock toes and try to force their opponent's foot down to the side, like thumb wrestling, but with toes.
Yeah.
Pin for 3 seconds, win the round. Matches consist of 3 rounds.
In fact, at the end of this episode, everyone stick around because Chuck and I will be toe wrestling.
That's a
Yeah.
drinking game right there.
Yeah. Did you come across car curling?
Uh-uh.
Curling from the Olympics, which nobody likes to play or watch unless it's the Olympics. But they do the same thing, but with cars. So on ice, they're pushing these cars and curling with cars. That's what it is.
That's pretty
So,
cool.
I think it'd be cool. I don't know about playing, but it'd be cool to watch.
Okay, so I got one. First of all, how about fear lippen, which is called far leaping, Also not-
Farvignogen.
known as a Dutch canal jumping. Where
Oh,
they
I've seen that.
where they attempt to jump across the canal using a long pole. So they stick the pole in the water, then they get a running start, and they jump on the pole. As it's got forward momentum, they're climbing the pole to try to make it to the other side. And these poles they got to be at least a couple stories.
Yeah, they look like about
Long
3
wall.
stories tall or so.
It goes deep in the water, obviously,
Yeah.
but that's pretty neat to watch.
It is interesting to watch that because clearly the strategy, in my opinion, is so you run, you put the pole into the canal, and as it slowly comes to a 90-degree angle, you climb the pole and get as far as you can at the top, and then try to continue forward to the other side of the canal.
You see a lot of guys, they get it upright, it falls back the way that they came, and rather
Yeah.
than goes forward.
Or,
there's a whole-
or they
there's-
don't
I would-
climb
there's
far
a-
enough.
Yeah, there's a whole strategy to it, obviously, but
Yeah, it is not a sport I'll be doing today.
you're not going to be doing that.
No. I tell you, I came across one that I didn't realize they had a championship. I guess the first championship was back in like 2017, and I had never heard of it, but totally makes sense. Ultimate Dodgeball. So it's got to be on ESPN Ocho, but they've got, so imagine dodgeball and one of those like trampoline parks.
I think.
And so you have a team of 5 or whatever, and you're bouncing around and off the walls and everything, but you're also playing dodgeball. If you watch the video, it looks pretty intense, actually.
Pretty crazy.
So I think it would be a really good workout, once again, as I enjoy my beer for ball games. I am not going to be playing that.
Here's one that you probably played as a kid. Yuga Gasan, which is
I'm sorry, what?
meaning snow battle in Japanese. Competitive sport that originated in Japan, involving 2 teams of 7 players battling with snowballs. It's a combination of capture the flag and dodgeball, with teams aiming to eliminate opponents with snowballs or capture the opposing team's flags. So they set up like walls and barriers that they run around like you would do if you were in a paintball, like that kind of thing. And it's pretty intense. It's like it's obviously adults. I could totally see this being a fun.
It would be fun.
A couple beers, going out and doing it.
As soon as you started saying it, I had an image of Buddy the Elf doing snowballs.
Yeah,
So,
maybe
yeah.
not so much in that manner, but
I came across one, Kaninhop. It's not really a person sport, but it's rabbit show jumping. So
what?
again, kind of like the other one with the hurdles and everything, and it's rabbits jumping over hurdles.
That's great. I'd
And
like to see that, actually.
They're judged on their form and speed. Like, seriously, somebody was drinking beer for ball games when they came up with that one.
How about it? A really interesting one.
Yeah.
Ladder racing.
With the firemen?
Yeah, it's like a fireman's competition. But these guys are incredible, where they run a short distance with the ladder. And it's like a hook ladder, so you can put it up and it like will hook onto something. And I've seen it both single and with team sport. Run the ladder, hook it up the first story. They got to climb the ladder, hook it up to the second story, third story, so on, and see who does it the quickest. But it is incredible to see how quick that these guys are, and the shape you got to be in just to do that. It's got to be nuts. Yeah. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. So I don't know if this is really a sport as much as just an activity and something fun. But in a place called Manitou Springs in Colorado, there's the Emma Crawford coffin races. I'll probably butcher this, but essentially the start of it was Emma died before her wedding day and was buried per her wishes up on this hill in her casket. And the story goes that she was buried in her wedding dress. And apparently they didn't bury her deep enough. And over time, the rain washed her and her coffin out. And the story is that some children found parts of the coffin and parts of her. And to commemorate it, in the mid-90s, they started this coffin race. So they have teams of 5, and everyone has to be in costume. And they run through the main street of the town, and they have to have somebody in a wedding dress who rides in this race.
Oh,
and
that would be fun to watch.
People that push them.
Oh, yeah. That would be fun to watch.
Yeah, I think it'd be a blast.
So like the coffins on wheels, or are they?
Yeah. So it's not. I've seen a couple different pictures. Like some people make it look like a coffin. I've seen others that look. I don't know. Looks more like a bed. Maybe it's a coffin. So I also did not look up all the rules. I just know that you have to be in costume. So
that's awesome.
Hey Chuck, what do you think of this beer?
I like it.
Actually, it's growing on me.
Yeah.
So
I could drink it.
Chuck, I'm gonna segue a little bit here. I decided there's got to be some beer sports out there that we are aware of or have seen, and that we should probably play some of these. So you probably heard of the beer mile.
Have I?
Yeah, you have. So basically, they do it like at a high school track, for example. So you have to run 4 laps, and what you do is you do a lap and you drink a beer, do another lap, drink a beer, and so it's 4 beers, 1 mile, And
I think that was just called track when I went to high school. But yeah, but go ahead.
times are different, Chuck.
Yeah, that's a different
So,
thing.
yeah, one of the rules is you can't puke because if you
Oh.
puke, you're disqualified.
Okay.
So
Well, that changes
Yeah.
some things.
now, beermile.com, they're not a sponsor, but they should be. There are world records that are tracked there. You can check it out.
Is there a certain place that they have this? Is
I-
it in the same place all the time, or there's different
No,
events? Or
You know what? I don't know if they have a national championship or anything, but I've seen it in different places. I think a lot of breweries will host that. Another big popular beer sport, beer pong. So
beer pong? Yes, I'd say
it is. It can get quite competitive, and if anybody doesn't know how to play,
As any college fraternity will show you how to do it.
oh, for sure. Essentially, you're throwing ping pong balls into cups of beer. And if you get your ball into that cup, the other team has to drink the beer. There's leagues, there's sponsors and tournaments, cash prizes. All right. And you've probably seen the keg toss, famous
I have- yeah, that's
Scottish,
the-
German.
It's in the strongman's competition.
Yeah, exactly. So vertically tossing it's an empty keg. I think some of them
Right.
are weighted.
That's what I do with all our kegs when they're empty at work. I just throw them.
Apparently, they also do a distance toss to see how far they can throw it. But lederhosen's optional, apparently.
Throw the kilts.
Well, that's not an option. You need to wear a kilt. You've probably heard of the beer stein holding competition. Maybe
Yeah,
around
yep.
Oktoberfest. Yeah,
Yeah, we do it
So-
at work.
you do.
Our Oktoberfest party, yeah, we do a competition.
You hold a 1 liter beer stein or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm told those weigh about 5 pounds. Does that sound right?
I haven't done it myself. I just watch other people do it. I know that it's not as easy as you think that it is. You'll be lucky if you get past a minute.
Oh, I don't have the arm strength for that.
Yeah.
So, last beer related sport that I have for you, Chuck, is keg bowling. Rolling a mini keg down a lane to knock over empty beer bottles or pins. So, it just
Like
sounds.
a half barrel?
Yeah, you know what? I didn't do a whole lot of research on that, Chuck, so I don't know what size keg they're doing, but that just sounds like somebody bored at work. You know?
Yeah, of course. Totally.
Look at this. Oh.
Sounds like one of my employees.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So, anyway, you mentioned that you had some fun sports.
Yeah,
Real
well, so
sports.
while we're doing a little dig into this, I just happened to look up weird sports that were in the Olympics. In 1900 Paris Games, they had pigeon shooting, which involved live pigeons as
Oh,
targets. So it's often cited as one of the most bizarre Olympic events ever. So that must have been pretty graphic.
But wasn't that a thing back in the day? That people were really shooting.
Yeah, no, totally. But eventually it went to the clay pigeons, and
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like to watch a bunch of people shoot a bunch of pigeons live. That
Messy.
must have been fun to watch.
Yeah.
Obstacle swimming. That was in the
Obstacle
1900 Paris
swimming?
Yeah, obstacle. Swimmers navigate a course with obstacles like poles and boats. That's not all that one. Tug of war. I think we've seen that one. Modern pentathlon. Pentathlon.
Pentathlon?
Yeah, pentathlon. Still part of the modern Olympics. Combines fencing, pistol shooting, 200-meter freestyle swimming, show jumping, and a 3.2 cross country.
Is this beer getting to you, Chuck?
Yeah, it's getting pentathlon.
That was a
I couldn't-
really tough one for you
I
to
don't
say.
know why I couldn't get that out. I was trying to read it, and then pistol dueling. Never involved live ammunition. This event, 1906 games, involved participants firing at targets while wearing protective gear. So they were, I don't know if they were like rubber bullets or whatever. So that must have been interesting.
Yeah.
Ski ballet, I think that's
Oh, I've seen videos of that.
yeah, they do versions of that. Here's one I always thought that was neat. It's called ski joring. This winter sport involves a skier being pulled by a horse, dog, or snowmobile It was a demonstration sport at the 1928 Winter Olympics. Have you ever
Sounds
seen
like
that though?
sketching. No, it sounds like sketching.
The one on the I've seen a lot of the ones, not a lot, but I've seen videos of the ones on the horse, and it is pretty cool to watch. The long rope skier attached to the end of it. They got jumps. They go through
Yeah.
different obstacles. Sometimes they'll have to go through like a pool of water. It's pretty neat.
We did that, right? You pulled us with your car, and
Yeah, that's called sketching. That has not
Sketching,
yet
oh,
become a Olympic sport, but
so you
soon
call it
should be.
sketching. Ours was skitching, like ski and hitching, like a ride.
Sketching.
Yeah, I think it was sketching. Maybe it was sketching. I don't know. But we people when I lived in New York, people do that hang in the winter times, hanging onto the back bumper of the bus and get a free gift.
Sketching, all right. Maybe it is sketching, and we're just calling it the wrong thing. All these.
It's your New England accent.
Yeah, there is none, but I always yeah, whatever it is. It's
Hey,
fun.
whatever you call it in your part of the country or world, let us know what it is, please. Put it in the comments. I'm gonna get someone to do comments once. Come on,
Do we have anybody that ever did comments?
we've had a few, but
Oh, I don't. That might be opening up a can of worms.
no, no. I am personally offended that people haven't commented about our podcast yet, but maybe this is the one, Chuck.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for Olympics.
Got it. So,
Weird sports.
Chuck, let's close this out a little bit. I had mentioned to you that we should probably come up with a list of sports that would be better if you were drinking while playing the sport, or more interesting, at least to people who are watching. For example, I do think that archery, while under under the influence of a little alcohol, would be really entertaining. I'm just picturing these arrows going 15 feet over the target.
Yeah.
Oh, he took out a commentator. All right.
Well, you should have been standing there.
Exactly. I think that pole vaulting would be interesting.
Oh, I think definitely.
Do you know how often those guys are going to miss the box with the pole? And when you get up there, then what? I think other ones, fencing would be entertaining. Maybe anything with a weapon might be entertaining.
You're saying while being drunk or while drinking?
No, it's always fun to watch while you're drinking, but when you're
Yeah.
performing the sport under the influence.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Ooh, ice skating would probably be a good one.
See lots of people do that.
Oh, they just
Drink.
broke their ankle. They're out.
That's a serious
well-
injury.
Yeah, same kind of thing. Maybe curling while intoxicated would be, I think that's called Canadian curling, isn't it? Oh, snap.
What?
Just offending all the Canadians that listen.
The one that we have?
I don't even know if we have anyone from Canada. What about synchronized swimming?
That would be fun to watch. And probably dangerous if someone would drown.
We don't need to do it in a 20-foot deep pool. We'll do it in shallow. That sounds even worse. Oh, she just took off her face on the bottom of the pool.
How about bog snorkeling? Are you familiar with that? Yeah, I know you are because we talked about it.
I think that might have been the sport that started this whole discussion.
Yeah,
Chuck.
a sporting event where competitors aim to complete 2 consecutive lengths of a 60-yard water-filled trench cut through a peat bog in the shortest time possible. Of course, in a village in Wales is where it started.
Of
People-
course.
To us, it looks like a creek.
It does.
You know,
To everybody, it looks like a creek.
a bog is. I think a bog is usually more like stagnant water. Some of the water doesn't look too nice to be going through anywhere. They wear a snorkel. One of the videos on it, they're saying that you couldn't use your hands. So what it means if you can't use your hands to swim, well, you can push yourself on the bottom of the.
So they're crawling on the bottom.
Or I
of
saw,
it.
I saw some of them like they had to put their arms over like a floaty, like those Nerf float things
yeah.
that you use in a pool, and you just had to kick. And it
I
gets pretty
saw
it gets pretty competitive of where they do this.
I saw it it must have been a charity thing where people were all dressing up as like sharks or
Yeah.
whatever, and
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
doing it. So
I saw that too.
I don't know. I've never been in a bog, but like you said, it looks like a creek. It looks like it's just dirty, stagnant, muddy water. and these people are swimming for gold in it.
2 consecutive lengths of 60 yards. So 120 yards. So football field more.
I can't do that in a regular pool, yet alone in a bog.
It's actually probably pretty exhausting when you think about it.
I
If you're
guarantee it would be.
yeah.
All right, Chuck, any other sports that we need to be made aware of?
That's all the weird ones that there are. We covered them all. No,
That's
no
it.
stone
There
left unturned.
No. So we should probably invite our listeners to also let us know what sport you play that nobody else knows about and what we should be adding to the Olympics. Hopefully no more breakdancing in the Olympics.
Oh, that was rough
That was,
to watch. I know.
yeah. Our apologies to Australia, who they do listen, but that was rough. Chuck, let's get a final review and a rating of the Off Color Brewing beer for ball games. What do you think of beer for ball games?
I gave it a 6.
Out of
10.
Chuck, let me explain this again. Untapped goes 0 to 5.
So I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
Why do you have to make more work for me? All right.
I'll give it a standard 3.
Yeah, I think 3 is just our standard go-to rating of a beer that is okay, but not
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Who are we?
Definitely not experts, but I do enjoy a good beer.
Yeah.
I'm almost done with it too. This is all that's left. What kind of beer?
It's a session beer.
It's a session beer.
It's a true session beer. Just the right amount of ABV. Awesome. If you enjoyed this episode or any of our episodes, make sure you like, follow, share. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook. And obviously, we are on Untapped, so you can be our friend and maybe get a little sneak peek earlier to see what we're drinking and what we thought of it. We would appreciate if you would spread the word about AYSM, please. Chuck?
Yeah, bro. I just want to remind all our listener that we will be
What a
at the-
dick.
at the Naperville Ale Fest this Saturday, July 12th in Naperville, Illinois. So if you'd like to come by and join us for some good
Yeah.
conversation, please stop by, have a beer with us, talk about whatever you'd like to talk about.
Yeah, make sure you bring one over for us because I don't know if we'll be able to get up from our chairs. But yeah, we're gonna try to sneak in our equipment and do a little recording.
See how it goes.
Come join us and try some beers. Chuck, what are we gonna be talking about next time?
Oh, we're going to be talking about